Hello and welcome to Around the Clock. I'm your host, Yolanda Greaves. Different times call for us to do different things. I'm doing my part of the show from my home studio. We fortunately have great staff at WACA-TV helping us record this at the WACA studios. On today's show, we'll be speaking with Jim Adams, Superintendent of Schools, and Michael Herbert, our town manager, talking about the town's response to COVID-19. We will have a select board update. We did have a short meeting on Wednesday, the 18th of March. We do have a short around the town tour for you for some activities that happened before things really went a little bit crazy because of COVID-19. And then we have some great things that have happened through our school department to help our community in support of COVID-19. In our conversation with Mr. Adams and Michael Herbert regarding COVID-19 and how the town is responding, we have two events that we want to share with you that have happened at our schools. The first was a Chromebook pickup for those students who may need a computer at home to be able to access some of the educational ideas that our schools are putting out. So we have some pictures from the middle school. About 150 Chromebooks were handed out. A big thank you to Paul Carpenter and some of our middle school staff for helping make this event happen. We also have a stop at our high school where bag lunches have been prepared thanks to Lisa Bowden and our nutritional services staff at the high school. It has been set up so that on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays hold on a second, I have the times for you. From 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, it was on Thursday of this week, but next week it will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 11 to 1. Any student who feels like they need help with food can come in with their student ID and pick up some breakfast and some lunches. It's a very safe way for our families to go and get some extra food to help during this difficult time. It's now time for the select board update that happened on Wednesday, March 18th. It was a short meeting. It was done mixed, partway at town hall and part via Zoom. 3 members, Steve Mitchell and Brandy Kinsman and Michael Herbert, our town manager, were at town hall. Jen Ball was at her office at town hall. And then 3 of us were at our home offices. Again, practicing that social distancing and trying to see how this would work. Moving forward, all select board meetings, all town meetings will be handled via Zoom so that people don't have to be coming to town hall. They will also be posted so that people can participate because it is still important for the public to participate. All of this was made possible via an emergency declaration by our governor to relax some of the rules in regards to open meeting and having to have everyone in one place to be able to have a quorum. During our selectmen meeting, we had a very deep discussion about the fiscal 21 budget. We have about a $66 million budget being presented. We looked at some of the detail of that, some of the changes on the school side, as well as on the general government side. We also discussed the water and sewer enterprise funds and where they're at. There will be no increases in those rates for the next fiscal year. If you want the detail, you can look at it on our town website. Brittany Iacopone, our town accountant, was also on the phone call, on the Zoom call, and she led us through the budget discussion as to where things are. And if you have any specific questions, you can reach out to her via her email address. We also did a vote on the Veterans Agency, the regional form that we're doing. So it's Ashland, Holliston, Hopkins, and Millis. It's 4 communities that work together and share a veterans agency. This has helped with resources, and it has been a very good thing. It started back in 2011, and we just signed another contract to allow that to go forward for 2 more years. Our last discussion was on COVID-19 and some of the details of what's being done on the general government and on the school side to support our citizens, some of our most vulnerable citizens during this time. So you can catch up on the meeting there and get the details. And that, like I said, it was a quick discussion and a quick meeting for the select board on March 18th. It's now time for our Around the Town tour. These events that we're about to share with you all were recorded before things really started getting serious in regards to COVID-19. There was a Red Cross blood drive at the Ashland High School on March 9th. This was a blood drive that was created and really championed by two students at the Ashland High School. We had an opportunity to talk to them. Let's go see about the blood drive. We are now with the two young students who have organized the blood drive that we're at today. Can you tell me your names?
Lily Schiller. Abby Sherman.
Girls, why do you want to do this blood drive here at the school?
We saw the impact the first one they had made, and we just wanted to continue doing it.
And that was the one for Jake Silver?
Yeah.
And are you able to donate?
Yeah, we're old enough now, but when we used to do it, we weren't.
And what year are you guys in school?
We graduate 2021.
Okay.
So we're juniors.
So you're juniors. Nice, nice. So do you get your friends to participate?
Yeah,
Yes.
we try to get everyone to. It's hard to get everyone to be able to, though.
Yeah.
And other than helping with the one for Jake Silver, what makes you want to keep it going?
Just to be able to help people and get as many people as we can at the school and in the town to donate.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for talking to us. Thank you for organizing. I know for many people to be able to come here to the high school to donate is a very positive thing. So thank you, and thanks for talking to me. A big shout out also to Principal Kelly St. Cyr for supporting this blood drive and also talking to us about it. And as you see, I donated. It's one of those things that I feel that as many of us can do, it's blood that we regenerate. So it's a great way to give back. And certainly if you have the ability now to get out and donate blood, I highly recommend that you do it. There are very major blood shortages. It doesn't take much time and you recover fairly quickly. Of course, if you are showing any symptoms of cold or flu, don't go out and donate blood. But if you're feeling healthy, go and share your blood to help the cause. From the blood drive at the high school, we're going to stay at the high school. They brought in a driving simulator to show the difference of driving distracted and not driving distracted. We're going to send it out to Connor Donovan, who did an interview with Mr. Garrigan at the high school.
What exactly is this this trailer we have behind us?
This is called the Distractology Distracted Driving Simulator, and it measures and compares an attentive driver with a distracted driver. So kids that go through this simulation will get measured when they're driving, paying attention to the road, and then by throwing various hazards into the simulation while they're distracted, perhaps snacking on some French fries or looking at their phone or talking to their friends, how their response times will be affected by that.
And so how did you go about getting it here to the school?
Well, there's a booking process. One of our Students Against Destructive Decisions members, Johanny June, took the initiative to contact Arbella Insurance and the folks that do the booking for this, and she was the initiative to getting it here.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So I'm here with Nikolai, who runs the Distractology trailer here at Ashland High School. So Nikolai, what exactly did the kids experience when they go into the sim?
So they try different scenarios where they're using their phone, they're texting friends, like in real life. They're using the radio as well. And mostly they're looking down when they're doing that. So sometimes they do get into an accident when they're actually driving in a simulator.
Right. And this is all like, and we have like a full like brake pedal, accelerator pedal, steering wheel, the whole bit. So what's like the target audience? Is it kids that already have their licenses? Is it kids about to get their licenses?
It is permit drivers, licensed drivers, so between 16 to 19 years old normally.
Mm. And they're obviously those kind of kids are at way higher risk for this sort of stuff than, normal drivers. Is that the case?
They are a higher risk, but even adults are doing it nowadays.
Right.
So everyone's at risk, really. We target this audience more because we want them to get into the habit of not using the phone right from the beginning of driving.
So what are some of the reactions that you get from students who take it, either like if they rear-end a car or something else happens?
They are either shocked, they're surprised, they don't expect something like that to happen, so you get these kind of reactions. Sometimes they get a little scared because it seems so realistic. We're going through the simulator for about 40-45 minutes, and they get really into it, so it does become almost like real driving after a while. So that's why they get that initial just shock, surprise, or even just something that they didn't expect to happen. just sometimes a little bit angry, like, oh, why did I do that? And you were actually looking at your phone. Now you know for real what can happen in real life.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Connor. It's interesting to see how one little distraction can really affect your driving. Share that. If your students have not seen it, please make sure you share that with your students and with your fellow adults, because many adults are still texting and driving as well. And that wraps up our Around the Town tour. Unfortunately, because of what is going on, there are no sports for you right now. It was unfortunate that some of our teams had to stop some of their competitions a little bit early. And of course, spring sports as of right now won't be starting until school goes back, which could be as late as April 27th. We are not sure. And that wraps up our Around the Town. Hello and welcome to Around the Clock. This is a slightly different edition. We're doing all of our interviews via Zoom, so we are practicing very good social distancing. With myself on the line via Zoom, I have Jim Adams, our superintendent of schools, and Michael Herbert, our town manager. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me on this phone call. And the first thing I want to do is thank you both for all the work you have done for our community in the last 10 to 14 days. It's been quite an adventure, I will put it that way, as to what we've had to deal with. Michael, let's start with you. What are some of the things we talked about not quite a week ago, what we were seeing? Where are things at now for Ashland as a community?
Thanks, Yolanda. And I just want to say thank you again, and the the select board, excuse me, for the support that you've shown. And can't thank my staff enough. They've just been incredible. And then also working with Mr. Adams and his staff it's always a pleasure. But when you have situations like this, you really start to see the value of teamwork. So what we've done here is, I've kind of broken it up into 4 different phases, our response to this pandemic. And the first one has been, first of all, doing what we can do to stop the spread of coronavirus amongst our employees and then also amongst the community. And concurrently, what we're also doing is trying to find a way to keep government operations running, and especially those essential services. And I think those are like the things that we're going to focus on over the next few weeks. And then the third and fourth phase are really more long-term. So the third phase is, starting to assess what impacts this is having on not just our health and safety and quality of life, but also financially for our residents and then also town government. And then the fourth phase is developing a plan to address those problems and what we're doing.
Right. Okay, good. So from there, Jim, tell us from your perspective what is happening at the schools from the point of when you first decided, okay, we need to cancel school, and then where are we at in regards to what we think the date might be?
Sure. First, I want to echo what Michael said. We've been very fortunate, as he has with his staff and the select board and me and the school committee and my staff, from right through from the nurses to the custodial to the nutrition to the teachers, and the ability to mobilize as quickly as we have is quite shocking, to be honest.
It has been amazing. I think, as I see what some of the other towns are not able to do and what you and Michael together and your staff it has been amazing to see what you've all accomplished.
Yeah, I think Yolanda, that goes back to Michael and I have actually developed a really good relationship, working with one another and our departments and supporting one another. And I think a lot of times when you share staff, like we do with our facilities management as well as IT, it actually works out well. In these situations where Michael and I were talking earlier today about Paul Carpenter, like mobilizing and deploying 150 Chromebooks today, well, that's because of his ability. Obviously, we're very fortunate to have him, but he was thinking about the town side at the same time and working with the school side. So let me revert back to what you asked. So last Thursday, we were notified that a student had come in contact with an individual who had tested positive for COVID-19. So we immediately went into action where we did an early release of all our buildings. The student did stay home that day. As soon as he realized that they were in contact with someone who had tested positive. So the family did the right thing, kept the student home, and from there, we canceled school on Friday, did a cleaning of all the sanitizing of all the buildings. Then Sunday night came, and I actually, before I begin there, the student we found out today tested negative.
Oh, good.
So we have no students who have tested positive, and this is the case that we had. So this particular student did get tested, and it is negative, which was
That's
great.
good to hear.
Today, yeah. So Sunday, I was actually Sunday. I think it was Sunday. Yeah, Sunday I was on my way home from Vermont, and the governor, the commissioner called us and said at 5:45 we're having a Zoom call, and so I'm on my way on I-89 coming home from Vermont, and was it Saturday, Michael? You and I met. What day was it? I forgot what day.
It was the day this
Whatever.
weekend.
It was one of those days.
Someday.
We're supposed to be off.
Yeah, the day we were supposed to be off. Either way, so the commissioner had called us and said the governor's going to do a press conference, and we're shutting down all schools for 3 weeks.
Okay.
So we had decided on a week.
Correct.
So in a week, you can sort of get by a little bit, right, with your plans. But 3 weeks, you have to spring into action. So I immediately reached out to our union president, Michelle Smith, who was just awesome, and said, "Hey, we need to get something together." So we met Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Staff came in.
Wow.
And from our paraprofessionals as well as our teaching staff to develop plans and lessons and what the state is making us call, and we want to be sure, called enrichment opportunities, because we can't be teaching curriculum in front of kids online. Not everyone has the ability to be online. Not every teacher has the capacity or the professional development to teach a class online.
Right.
So they're not asking us to move the bar forward, if you will. They're asking us to provide opportunities. So that's where we are today. We deployed 150, I think, Chromebooks today, plus we served 64 meals today. And that will continue every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the meals through the closure. Right now, it's April 6th is the date that we are closed through. I would certainly anticipate probably through April break would be my guess. That's my gut feeling.
Right, because there's been a couple of communities that have already decided to go not to come back until after April break.
Yeah, mainly cities. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Boston has for sure.
Everett, I know, was one of the first.
But I would not be shocked if the governor
makes everybody. Yeah.
Says, 6 weeks is the right amount of time.
Right. Okay. So from a perspective of the schools, I know you had an online school committee meeting today, and plans for if you decide to go past April 6th, or if it's determined that you need to go past April 6th, what other plans might you be making?
So good question. We don't know. I'll be blunt. I mean, we have to take day by day. And as I said to the school committee today, we will assess where we are probably middle of next week, right? We'll have an idea of how things are flowing with regard to our rollout of our grab-and-go meals, to our Chromebooks, to teachers continually adding stuff into the enrichment folders that we've created. We have a website that we've set up where families can just click on one click and go to the different schools and get all the resources that we've already provided. So we're doing the best we can there. But we don't know. And to Michael's point, we're dealing with a lot of unknowns, and especially financial unknowns, and a lot of our most vulnerable staff who are hourly employees. And the school committee voted today that we would continue to, over this 3-week closure, that we're going to make sure that they're taken care of over this 3-week closure. But we have to reassess it because we don't know if we can continue to fund all of those positions within the operating budget. Certainly, we're saving a little money on substitute teachers, so we can funnel that to where we need to in terms of keeping our employees, sustainable throughout this time. So it's a hard time for those teachers who are making $17 an hour.
Right. Okay. So, Michael, back to you. So we're hearing what the schools are doing, and Jim, thank you for that. How are we coordinating with the schools in regards to either traffic or some of the issues for just the health of everybody in town?
So, I mean, fortunately, traffic is actually one issue that we don't have to deal with in this current situation. It's been a nice reprieve. Not just the traffic between buses going through town, but just traffic in general. Um, Again, I think focusing on government operations and what we try to do. Of course, everybody should know by now that all municipal buildings are closed to the public.
Mhm.
We still have staff coming in at this point, though. So still trying to do work. Some are working remotely under certain circumstances, but I put that out there because if people have questions, general questions, they should call the appropriate town hall department, and somebody should be there to help answer that question. If not, we also have set up a COVID-19 hotline, coronavirus hotline, and a separate email address, which will be staffed and answered during working hours. That number is 508-532-7900. And the email is covid19@ashlandmass.com. We have one staff member staffing it in shifts during working hours. Our police and fire, they are still in DPW. They're still responding as they
Mhm.
always have and as they always will. All we're asking is that if people have flu or cold-like symptoms, when they call for service, that they let the dispatcher know. And that doesn't affect our response time. We're going to take some extra precautions so we don't
Right.
endanger our staff or actually more members of the public.
Mhm.
Things like bills, that's still being processed. Bills, vendor payments, things of that nature.
Right.
People can use the Dropbox outside, or right now we've actually waived or are absorbing any of the bank charges and fees
Okay.
for online transactions, so people can pay online. And if that's been a barrier to them doing so,
Right.
so those,
Okay.
from an operational perspective, some of our social service programs, we're starting to do more wellness checks on our seniors. Kelly Run and Recreation is starting to develop programs that people can do at home.
Mhm.
And our library is now, if you reserve books, you can actually pull into the library and they'll actually deliver it.
Okay. Question for both of you. We are trying to encourage the social distancing, and you're hearing reports, or I'm hearing some reports of kids going to the ball fields, or kids hanging out at the park, or people gathering places. Are we as a town going to look at doing anything about that, or for now, are we going to leave it alone?
At this point in time, I think we're aware of it.
Mhm.
In terms of some coordinated action, we haven't reached that point yet.
Okay.
I think that is something that we probably will, in the next couple of weeks, look more into.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that we just have to continually reinforce the message that social
Right.
distancing is real and that it really does help. And, we've had that conversation with a number of kids and parents. And tonight, I send an email home every single night.
Yep.
and,
It's
and,
not a snow day.
and every, every message is about social distancing and
Right.
the impact that it can have on slowing down the virus from spreading.
Right.
It's not going to stop it immediately, right? But we can slow it down. And if students will I drive home and I see 25 kids on a soccer field in Sudbury. I'm like, no, this is not what we're talking about. I'm looking to see if one's my niece, but
Right.
But the point is, we have to continue to emphasize it, and we need parents who are watching this and grandparents who are watching this
Right.
to say, listen, you could be carrying this and not know it because you could be asymptomatic.
Right.
And you could spread it.
Right. You give it to your friend, they go home, they're near a grandparent or someone who's susceptible. Yeah.
And I think about, I grew up with my grandparents, and I'm
Right.
want to be thoughtful of our kids, and with school being out, quite often it's our grandparents who are watching the younger kids and the kids while we're at work or trying to work, right?
Right.
And so
Right.
they're very vulnerable. So
yeah.
I mean, I hope we don't get to that point, Yolanda, where we're San Francisco and we're saying, everyone's going to shelter in their house for 24 hours a day.
Or even not so far away, New Rochelle, where they had a really big outbreak, and they're all staying in place. So So I do want to say to both of you, the emails that you're both sending, because Jim, even though I don't have any kids in the school, I still get your emails, and just to stay informed in what's going on. And I think both of you, Jim and Michael, have been doing a great job explaining to the community. And again, that's part of what this conversation is about. We will make sure the websites get up, and if people want to get on those email addresses, those email lists to find out what's going on, because you've both been explaining very well what's going on in our community and how as a community we're handling it. So thank you for that.
So thank you.
Well, you're welcome. I think in these situations, when there's so much unknown, the absence of information actually leads to a lot of people speculating and
Definitely.
whether intentionally or not intentionally promulgating incorrect information, which will only just make things worse.
Exactly. The more accurate information we can get to people will make it a lot easier for everybody. Great. Well, Jim, Michael, thank you very much for talking to me here on Around the Clock. Stay safe with your families. Thank you for doing all that you do for our communities, and I'm sure we'll be talking again soon.
Got it. Anytime. Thanks, Yolanda. Thanks,
Thank
Michael.
you.
Take care,
Bye, Jim. Bye, Mike. Thanks. I want to thank you for watching this Around the Clock. As always, if you ever have a story or a question or something you'd like to share with us and our viewers, make sure you reach out to us at WACA-TV. We will be working. Our staff is still going to the studios, and we're going to be doing this as long as we can and sharing news and getting information out to you via Zoom, via our website, and via Facebook. So make sure you stay connected with all of us here at WACA-TV and Around the Clock. Again, a big thank you to Mr. Adams and Mr. Herbert for sharing their time and their information with us. Please stay safe, stay home if you can, reach out to your neighbors to see if they need assistance, and let's make sure we all make through this together. Thanks for watching this episode of Around the Clock.
I'm so excited to go on vacation.
I know, the cave is gonna be so fun.
I've got the sunscreen. I have the suitcases.
Here are the towels. Oh, don't forget the beach chairs.
Okay, I think we have everything packed.
But wait,
We have all this food and no one's here to eat it.
yeah, I don't think I want to eat hot soup in 90-degree weather.
And we have so much pasta, but nobody's here to eat it.
We're not gonna eat all this when we're on vacation.
I know, we can donate it to the Ashland Food Pantry.
That's such a good idea.
We passed the food pantry on our way to the highway.
Let's drop our food off then.
Yeah, let's leave now. There's a sign for the food pantry.
Yeah, I think it's that way.
Come on, let's go. Most people don't think to donate before they go on vacation, but in the summer, the need is greater. Anyone who relies on school breakfast or lunch doesn't have that option during summer vacation.
In addition to food, the food pantry also takes donation of clothing, books, sports equipment, and toys.
Remember, give before you go.